Flashing lights in the dark baritone hum. Engines scream till the wild hearts succumb. Virtual roads where the asphalt sweat fire, chasing glory through the chaos of desire. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment is stream. No TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels bursting like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Science going for the sweet finish line. Sweat-soaked battles outside space and time. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment is stream. No TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels bursting like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Tires calling for the sweet finish line. Sweat-soaked battles outside space and time. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment is stream. No TV, we're living the dream. Strap me in, fuel me with untamed speed. Data in the storm, all the rush I need. Glitches on the edge, chaos in the stream. Sim racing paradise, unraveling the sea. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment is stream. No TV, we're living the dream. Flashing lights in the dark baritone hum. Engines scream till the wild hearts succumb. Virtual roads where the asphalt sweat fire, chasing glory through the chaos of desire. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment is stream. No TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels bursting like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Science going for the sweet finish line. Sweat-soaked battles outside space and time. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment is stream. No TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels bursting like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Tires calling for the sweet finish line. Sweat-soaked battles outside space and time. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment is stream. No TV, we're living. Fuel burns in the glow of the pixel blaze. lights up the endless night. Fight to fight, we live the speed. No TV feeds our endless name. Heartbeats pound and engines climb. Best broadcast under the virtual sky. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul.
And welcome back to Nerd TV for another OTSS Select Series race live from the second Crown Jewel event of the year, or for the season rather, at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're going to go 225 miles around this 2.5 mile track as we get our countdown to green underway, presented by, of course, Icon Apparel Company. And head yourself to iconapparelcompany.com to suit up your esports team with your colors of choice, whether it be a hat, jersey, gloves, you name it, they can make it for you in bright, vivid colors. And here we go. Here's your race stats for this evening. 11-mile-an-hour winds, 77 degrees air temp, 102 on the track surface. 3 additional sets behind the wall of tires, and 3 green-white checkered attempts, which I don't think we're ever going to come across that here in this league because they just race and they race well. So I don't expect any cautions here this evening. Plus, they're going for a trophy for the Crown Jewel event number 2 at Indianapolis. My name is Jeremy Stanley. To my right side, co-partner, producer. Guy's gonna find the drones, press all the buttons, do everything except for just talking, which is just my job. Nice and easy there. Dustin, we got new shaker cups to our side. We're fueled by Dubby now, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Got a partnership with Dubby there. Look at that. Yeah, bright orange. My one of my previous favorite colors way back in yesteryear. Obviously, neon green's my favorite color. Has
In your ballistic days.
Yeah, my ballistic days. Yeah, so we got some new stuff going on here. Got some new stuff added. I know, Jeremy, you love it when I sit here and go and add and change stuff around, but
listen, every race is an outdated race.
it is. Every race, man, our stuff is outdated. That's why you haven't got a new one yet. But we had to talk about this, man. We like to try to be on the cutting edge of things and try to bring all the information to all the viewers out there. So, but enough about that. Crown Jewel race number 2, Indianapolis, the Brickyard 225, presented by Ghost Motorsports. Thank you, Ghost Motorsports, for sponsoring tonight's event. Jeremy, man, this is going to be a wild one. Indianapolis, such a historic track. The Yard of Bricks, man, this is going to be a good one. These trucks are fast. It's going to be a wild one. Very hot track temperature, 102 degrees. As you've seen that on the pre-race info. I still think it's going to be a solid race though tonight for sure.
100%. These trucks love drafting, right? They love running behind the slipstream and until you get to the corner. So you're going to see some draft packs. You're going to see some drivers who just know how to take these 90-degree corners much better than other people. And ultimately, that's going to be how you're going to win this event, is knowing how to take these corners correctly, saving that right front, or maybe utilizing the right rear enough to run the long run as these trucks run through this track. Dustin said it's about roughly 50 laps of fuel. I don't know if the tires can hold 50, but if they can, I'm sure either the right front or right rear will be screaming on these things, asking to be changed.
Oh yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with the new tire models that have been laid out on these trucks. You know, of course, the update that came out on these things last fall. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle Indianapolis and how the pit strategy is going to work. But we know that these drivers love throwing us for a loop on pit strategy. They will try all kinds of crazy stuff, and I would expect nothing less for tonight's Crown Jewel event.
Yeah, 1,000% here. We got a decent amount of entries too. I think close to 30, if I'm not mistaken. About 28 looks like I got on the pylon right now. And I know you got some points. You got some points for these fans that are currently watching, and kind of a close battle. Minus Ross Tatum, who's been kind of just leading the thing. We got a tie for second place. Jacob Grant, Tyler Honeycutt, those two second place. And then you got fourth and fifth, which are only 6 points separated. That's 52 and 58 out. So not necessarily close to Ross, because he's just been, from the get-go, just been that guy for the first 8 races. But everybody else is just kind of pretty close by to one another. So with 30 entries almost every single race, Dustin, any mistake on the track, especially here being one of those oddball tracks, if you will, could be a chunk of points away from you, or you maybe gain some and get closer to that points lead. But it's qualifying, so we're going to get our cameras off your screen, go full camera action around this 2.5 mile track with some of the fastest drivers in practice. And lo and behold, Dustin, guess who's the fastest in practice?
Mr. Zebra Cakes.
Mr. Zebra Cakes himself, the guy who's going to take a week off to package us some and send it our way. Here, let's see what he does in this qualifying session.
Yeah, still waiting for that, though. Still waiting. So,
Couple weeks away.
Couple weeks away. But qualifying here, Jeremy, qualifying here, for me, is just like a Daytona or Talladega. I mean, with the draft package on these trucks, the draft poll, you can sit here and get runs and move up. It's a little give or take because these corners, it's not flat out. That's where drivers can make up time or they can lose time. But the big thing is a pit stall position further down pit road. That is going to be the big thing. Is that whole time I was talking, Jeremy, we just now had Ross Tatum take the green flag. That was his entire out lap. He is now under his first qualifying, going to dive it down to the inside. Tires just breaking below that white line. Back out to the wall. Again, minimal inputs on the wheel. You do not want to scrub speed, just like a Daytona, just like a Talladega. The more input you have, the more you're going to scrub. He's going to dive it back down into turn 3 again. Again, left tires just below that white line. Let it drift back up to the outside wall. And he's going to rinse and repeat for turn 4. Remember, this is a rectangle-shaped track. So there is a little mini straightaway in between each of the corners. Comes off turn 4. Nice and smooth, Jeremy. This is going to be a heater of a lap.
If it's anything like his practice lap, it absolutely will. 53.1 in practice, 53.2 here in the first lap on qualifying, as he's not the fastest one. Caleb Smith, truck number 54, who was second in practice, P1 out of the first 10 times posted.
Yeah, I mean, both Caleb Smith and Ross Tatum were fast in practice as well. Now, granted, some of the times in practice were draft poll laps, but they were top of the boards. Ross was first. Smith was P2 as far as times. And, that's going to end that run there. Tried to push a little too much through turn 3, and that wall tagged him hard there. But we're going to go on board with Bobby Mantle here. We do have some onboard driver cams presented by Brez Coffee Co., the Caffeine Team driver cams. And as always, Bobby Mantle has given us his VR headset, but we also have Jackson Clark as well as EJ Luna as part of the team tonight as well. So we'll be taking a look at their camera views throughout the race.
Yeah, I mean, not too many times we get 3 drivers on at one time, so it's kind of cool to see. I appreciate you guys for popping in and doing that. So minus the road course, which Bobby set up his footwork camera angle. All the other racetracks, he's been VR headsetting it from his personal point of view, and this is his speed right there, about 180, 181. I expect maybe a little bit faster. These trucks carry a lot of drag with them, though, so they get to the top speed, they kind of just stick. You can see the variance right there. It gets to about 160, just under that, so it's about a 20-mile-an-hour difference between the exit of turn 2 and the speed he's going to reach before he gets to turn 3. Not too much variance there, but when you carry the draft, Dustin, you're going to be up an additional, it's about 183 there. You got a little bit better of a turn 2 exit than he did turn 4. Maybe a little bit of headwind, who knows there. But they're going to carry up towards of 190 before they get to these corners in the draft back.
Oh, yeah, and drivers are going to have to check with that. And I was kind of looking at Bobby Mantle's turn 2 exit. He didn't drop the tires down near the paint through turn 2. He actually ran about a lane up on the corner exit, but was able to get decent speed down the backstretch. So, again, the variance that you can have in these trucks is crazy. This is one of those tracks. But like you said, Jeremy, they're going to carry speeds of 190 plus. Oh, big time hit. And that's going to end Jacob Grant's qualifying effort there. That's going to be rough because he had already taken the green flag, Jeremy. So he's going to have to rinse and repeat and come back out again. That means that his out lap is actually going to be his first qualifying lap. This is going to be a one and done effort for driver of the 27. But it looks like he's not going to do it because Jeremy, that's it. He didn't have enough time.
But he did sneak in the first lap. P2 on the board for him, actually. So, with that being said, qualifying is over. It is race time. So we're going to give these guys a couple seconds to grid up on the field. And if you want to support us while they do that, head yourself to nerditudes.gg. Look for the Nerd Swag section, and we have a bunch of Sharditudes products. As you see right there on the left-hand side of your screen, some fun jerseys to just wear casually throughout the day, or if you want to rock a esports jersey or a hoodie for the cold months that are coming up in about a half year or so, head yourself over there and check one out. And they're pretty cool. Bright green, vivid colors, high contrasts, pixelated designs. That's how we do it here. But here we go. Here's the starting lineup for race number 9. Crown Jewel event number 2 at Indianapolis. And this is presented by Brez Coffee Co. Caleb Smith, Jacob Grant is going to take the front row here this evening. Row number 2 will be Ross Tatum. Into his outside, DJ Honeycutt starting in 4th. Row 3, you'll find Will Bustler and Joshua Altis, who's going to start in 6th place. 7th place will belong to Thomas Ogle. Donnie Honeycutt to his outside in 8th. And to round out the top 10 starting lineup to be Bobby Mantle in 9th, Polly Torrance in P10. Row 6, you'll find Abram Ghostin in the 25. Brad Miner to his outside in 12th place. Row 7 to 13th, Danny White. Jonathan Hammond will start on the outside in 14th. Row 8 and 15th will be Carson Osborne. 16th will be the 31 of Jackson Clark. Row 9 and 17th will be Jonathan Gaston, and then Stephen Abbassed there in 18th. And the top 20 will be Jason Pick and Ronnie Hurst. 21st in row 11 will be EJ Luna. To his outside, the 47 of Alejandro Khan. Row 12 and 23rd will be Nathan Van Zant, with Tyler Honeycutt to the outside in P24. Row 13 and 25th will be Nate Beck, and Dave Harrington to his outside in 26th. 27th belongs to Logan Brakey, Christopher Harrington in 28th. And that is all. 28 entries for race number 9, Crown Jewel event number 2 for the Brickyard 225. And Justin already said it, but thank you, Ghost Motorsports, for supporting tonight's event.
Yeah, it's we, and I say we, but no, it would be we. I mean, we as in Nerditudes and Nerd TV would not be able to be here if it wasn't for the support of the OTSS community and all their proud sponsors. So we absolutely love shouting them out, and we absolutely thank them for their support in allowing us to come here each and every week and call these fantastic races, Jeremy, but as well as the support for OTSS as a whole. Remember, this is the inaugural year for OTSS. We're in our 2nd season, but they started 2026. And Jeremy, they have, made leaps and bounds. Fantastic series so far. And again, look forward to continued support and coverage only on Nerd TV.
Quick update there is Nate Beck, driver of the 98, was the last of the non-chartered trucks out in the field. So Nate Beck will not start this event. So it'll be a 27 truck starting lineup here as they take the green flag in just one more corner. And we're going to see these guys roar off into turn number 1. A lot of dust out here on the track, especially in the center of it. You can see the brown dirt kicking up. See if that plays any factor on the cold tires that are not cleaned off of turn 4. Pace truck's going to drop down. Then you got the long, patiently waited front straightaway to get to the end of it before they can hit the go pedal. Pace truck down. Got to go about another 500 feet before we get to the restart zone. There it is in bright orange. 3, 2, 1. Green flag. Green flag is out. This thing is officially underway, and watch out for the snaking effect here.
Oh, yeah. You are going to see snaking effect down these long straightaways. More so at this track than you will a lot of other tracks as drivers try to break that draft to try to give themselves a little bit of an edge. So far, Jeremy, clean start all the way through the field, still side by side. And this is a track that you can run side by side. It can be difficult on corner exits, but so far, Jeremy, these drivers, they're showing us how it's done.
Very clean start here for the first couple of corners. I only saw a couple trucks mid-pack kind of loose. Oh, a little checkup there from the 15 DJ Honeycutt. He goes wide. Altus looks to the inside, can't make the pass happen. They go single file for the first 10 plus trucks. Into turn number 4, Hammond on the outside. A couple of 2 wide battles. Coming off corner exit 4, very clean, no truck contact at all. And that's the lap to open up Indianapolis.
Yeah, very clean lap, and as you can see, Jeremy, a lot of drivers getting single file, only about 3 or 4 trucks on that inside that are side by side. Once they get everything sorted out, it will be single file, and you'll only see trucks dive to the outside or the inside there just to make a pass. But Jeremy, they got to set those passes up. They got to draw that draft in, they got to time it right, and you may see some drivers take a couple attempts at it because their timing is just off on when they actually get that draft pull to try to, swing out to make that pass. So very technical track, but very, very usual when it comes to a drafting track in these trucks.
100% there. Ross Tatum out to a large early advantage, but everybody else just still well within the wake of the next driver in front of him. Single filed out through the top 10. The battles usually are happening in the back half of the field, which is holding true so far for the first 2 laps. Here, out of the 90 laps that we're going to be running here this evening, we touched briefly that the field mileage is about 50 laps. So if these guys can go the classic OTSS way, aka caution-free, then we can see just a one-stop strategy, and that would probably be true to most. You run it about halfway at lap 45, that gives you a few laps extra in the tank. Especially these guys running, next to each other, Dustin. It's Ross Tatum that has to be the one that maybe has to watch the fuel mileage.
Yeah, yep. It's they should be able to, fuel-wise, one-stop it. Tires may be a little different. Again, we're not entirely sure how the tire model is going to hold up here, how the tire wear was. We were not able to get that information, so that's going to be interesting to see. But that also has a little bit of play, like you said, Jeremy, in the hands of the drivers themselves, how hard or how conservative they push their trucks. That will determine tire wear as well and can increase the wear and heat or decrease it.
And the track with a lot of cloud coverage right now, it's going to help the track stay a little bit cooler, help the tire temps. You see right now we started in practice 102, now it's down to 97. So we already lost 5 degrees in the surface. The air temp staying roughly the same there at 77. So it goes down another degree, 96. They got a lot of cloud coverage here over the track. It got pretty dark this lap. And so we'll see how long this kind of holds, but right now this is only good for the grip of these drivers.
Yeah, yep, and that cloud coverage, like you said, that's what's helping it out. It's the sun's not beating down on this very aged surface, so like you said, that is only going to make these trucks grippier as the race goes on. Now, if that cloud coverage dissipates and the sun comes out, that track temperature starts heating up a little bit, these tires are going to get greasy, and it's going to be a completely different story.
As we got almost our first 5 laps complete, Caleb Smith is your race leader right now by a 1.3 second advantage over the 27 as Ross Tatum has dropped back to 4th place. Dustin, he had that breakaway lead, and it's all gone there as he's now 2 seconds back. Outside of that, as Caleb Smith going to continue to try to truck forward with Jacob Grant looking at toes. He lost 3 seconds to him, or 3 tenths rather. So Caleb all of a sudden is on a tear here in the first opening laps.
Yeah, and Jacob Grant's got himself a little bit of separation from the 94 Joshua Altus. But as it sits right now, Jeremy, we don't know how hard or how much wear is going in. And here you see that snake effect. Jacob Grant going down near the bottom of the track, down that back stretch there to try to break the draft pole from the 94 Joshua Altus, and you're going to see that quite a bit, especially if it comes down to the end of the race, Jeremy. The drivers are trying to maintain that lead, but as you said right now, I mean, everything is on that 54. He is just pulling away.
You can see visually just the gap, quite large. Even at 2 seconds, when you're going 180 plus miles per hour, 2 seconds is a lot. So we'll see how that goes as these guys run a lot of green flag laps, and it looks like it's going to hold that way. Still don't see many ill-handling trucks. For the most part, they're doing very well here. So we're going to take a quick moment and thank our series sponsor, Empower Ed Research Institute, for allowing us to do this every single Tuesday.
Education has the power to transform lives, and Empower Ed Research Institute is helping lead the way. Through research, innovation, and collaboration, we work to strengthen education, expand opportunity, and spark positive change in schools and communities. Empower Ed Research Institute, powering the future of learning. Reach out and become a part of the movement.
And back there, the full screen. Thank you, Empower Ed Research Institute, for sponsoring OTSS and supporting them throughout the entire year for multiple seasons now. And we look forward to the continual partnership as well from year in and year out to allow us to do this every single Tuesday. But here we are on lap number 8.5 here. Caleb Smith out to now a 2-second lead. Joshua Altus almost to a half-second back of him. So the leaders starting to space out from one another as we got our driver versus driver displayed here. Jacob Grant P2, Joshua Altus P3. A lot of information to be displayed, but at the end of the day, you see the center part 0.05 is the gap, and losing almost nothing per lap.
Yeah, and they are very, very close. You see the calculated on that one there that stating that Altus will catch the 27 of Jacob Grant in 46 laps, and you see that it's changing. That is a high number because they are running very similar lap times right now. So you look at the lap times under Joshua Altus, only 2 out of the last 5 were in the green by almost 2/10 and almost 2.5. The other 3 were in the red. So that tells you they're running very similar lap times, and that's going to make it very difficult to try to close that gap. That's why that gap is so many laps. But this is definitely a segment, Jeremy, that has been getting a lot of use lately because it's great to see when, you know, just comparing drivers as they're out there doing their thing.
I mean, it's great to watch and look at, especially in a race like this where it's a lot of single file and like the action it's good, but it's not like it's door to door, side by side type of action. So that's where you start bringing out the analytics here to see what drivers are doing around the track, and that's probably the best graphic that we have possible for the viewers to see what's going on with these drivers. And we can pinpoint anybody as we got maybe a pass effort here, maybe nope. We're going to tuck back in line there. Will Bustler going to be able to keep that spot for at least another lap, as this is going to flip-flop a lot, the closest battles, which right now this is going to be, I don't know if we should going to be flopping around, but you can see how close the battling is with the draft pack. It's just, there's so many trucks that are within one truck length of another. I wish you good luck on reading this because it's moving all over the place.
Yeah, and there's a number of them. I mean, that's pretty much your top 2 kind of stayed solid there, but it can definitely get tough on this one here. Like you said, that draft package. I mean, there is a lot of these drivers. It's hard to get away from other drivers with this draft package. That's why we talked about Caleb Smith. And I mean, just the massive gap that he's put on, 2.2 second lead right now. That's why we have covered that and we have talked about that. And oh, your leader just tagged the wall on corner exit there. Got tight coming out of the corner exit. That's going to drop him down. He's lost 2/10 already. Under 2 seconds now is the gap between him and Jacob Grant. So the question is, Jeremy, did he do any damage to that truck? So far, it doesn't seem like it. but only time will tell.
Yeah, watching back on a replay, he tagged the right rear where the safer barrier kind of stops kicking out. And then, so I don't think anything on in the right front is been touched. It's all right rear. And so watching the times, I think he's still okay. He's holding a 1.7.
Lost half a second just in that exchange.
Losing anything down the straightaway here, so I think he's going to be A-okay, but he's probably got some optional repair when he hits down pit road.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, lost half a second just in that wall tag, just that tank slap, and then getting it back up to speed, and he's starting to lose a little bit more, Jeremy. So Jacob Grant in tow, trying to close back up. As it sits right now, Caleb Smith has lost almost another 0.2 of his lead. Remember, he was up to 2.2 seconds, now down to 1.5 seconds. And it looks like he's losing it in the corners, Jeremy. Straightaway, not so much. Corners are a different scenario. It looks like corner entry is where he's kind of losing it.
As he gets a little bit loose there, yeah. So rear tire starting to give out a little bit. Suspension's not there to assist him. He gains a 10th back that time around. Just a quick mention too, Bobby Mantle, truck 89. He has lost 2 positions this last lap, from 9th to 11th. So we're starting to see the tire wear game here just a little bit. Spacing in the field's gotten a little bit larger. Let's open up that. Oh, here we go, yeah.
I got you,
The Best Coffee Co. Caffeine Team Drivers Cam. I had 2 different cameras in mind at the same time, and we're going to go twistedspeedsetups.com, in-truck telemetry at the same time. Let's take a lap around Indianapolis through a virtual headset of Bobby Mantle.
Yeah, and I mean, hats off to these drivers with running that is, oh, Brad Miner wicked loose in front of Bobby Mantle. He's going to take it to the outside here. Wicked loose was Brad Miner. Good save. But, I mean, hats off to drivers that can sit here and run these VR headsets. There's a lot that goes on here. I get discombobulated big time on it. So, but it's always cool to see a driver's perspective with this. And first time we've actually been able to do that. And Bobby Mantle seems like he's having some network issues there a little bit. He had blinked out when we first got on there, and then his VR headset's starting to really lag there quite a bit.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that too as he blinks out one more time down the front straightaway here. Hopefully that doesn't affect him any more than what it is now. That was a lap around virtual IMS here for the Brickyard 225 presented by Ghost Motorsports. And yeah, I was going to actually want to take a look at the iRacing iFlag track map to see kind of what we have here for the viewers. iRacing was finally kind enough to gift us our personal track maps on our UI, but here it is from the viewer standpoint, as we got about, what would you say, about almost 30% of the track covered with some type of vehicle.
Yeah, and you do see that there is a pack that is further back there, kind of dropped off from the main pack. I mean, there's like little mini packs right now. We're watching the 22, Donnie Honeycutt right now. He's leading this pack here, which is behind Jacob Grant, Altus Tatum, and DJ Honeycutt. They're their own little pack. This is their own little pack right here. Brad Miner back here has his own little mini pack. Him and Avram Ghost and Danny White. Then we go further back. Jonathan Hammond has his own little pack there. That's Hammond, Carson Osborne, Jonathan Gaston, and EJ Luna. And then you have to go further back. We got some good racing right here. This pack here was being led by the 31 of Jackson Clark. A little contact between Clark and Brakey. But, yeah, a lot of little packs going on here as Jackson Clark trying to break the draft a little bit there from Logan Brakey. Got Ronnie Hurst in the wings and Tyler Honeycutt back there as well. So this is a heated little battle.
This is what tires look like when they fall off, and some conserve, and you get a little bit of mix and a match in here. And they're going to go from 2x2 to single file just like that, coming off the turn number 4 to complete their lap 16. They're going to remain in tow with one another, single file all the way down the front straightaway. Jackson going to try to break the draft one more time, and then, oh, here comes Tyler. Late cut to the bottom. Did he get there? No. Not going to be able to do it. Just did it as a little scare tactic. But he is ready to pounce and pick up these positions right ahead.
Yeah, yep. Absolutely, as we're working lap 17 of 90, Jeremy. And Tyler Honeycutt gets a little loose coming off that corner, has to put a little bit more wheel into it to keep it from hitting the wall, and went down a few lanes there, is able to gather that back up. But now he's got a little pressure from the 33 of Ronnie Hurst. Behind him is Tyler Honeycutt, having his hands full with the truck and with the 29 of Logan Breaky.
Yeah, he's finally got the position there. Looks like he's at the left rear quarter panel. Logan's going to be able to get the run off the corner exit though and secure. It looks like Tyler's just running a little tight when he gets down to the inside of another truck. The air just being taken off the nose. It's just not good. And you hear drivers talk about it almost weekly in their post-race interviews at how it just handles so much different and track position becomes prime as, Tyler almost tail whipped the outside turn 2 exit wall. Really close. He checked up enough to allow Ronnie Hurst to get there, but that was about what, 2 inches away from having a spin out there?
Oh yeah, and I mean Ronnie Hurst was right there as well. But Jeremy, I mean we talked about the update last fall, and these trucks, dirty air plays an effect, and heavy draft tracks like that, especially with corners like this is not like a Michigan, it's not like an Auto Club, a Daytona Talladega, where Daytona Talladega you can run it wide open. You got high banked corners. Michigan and Auto Club, you got decently banked corners. Got to play with the throttle a little bit to set the truck. But otherwise, I mean, it's pretty good. These are very flat corners. Dirty air is going to play dividends to these drivers on these flat corners like that, and it's going to make them super, super tight. And we've already seen a number of wall tags here, and that could be playing effect to some of these drivers, Jeremy, like the 45 of Tyler Honeycutt.
Yeah, 100% there. I do believe that is true as we're cycling back to your race leader, Caleb Smith, driver the 54, who for the first time in, what do we say, about 15 laps, that he's been under a 1 second advantage. This time it's going to be over the podcast team there of Joshua Altus and Ross Tatum. 0.6 is the gap. They actually gained 0.3 in the last lap alone. So Caleb's tires have really just fallen off here, and the top 5, 2nd through 5th, are really catching them as we're going to go back to driver versus driver and see it in real time. Off the corner exit, you see it goes from 0.65 to 0.60 just like that.
Yeah, and it's calculating about 3 laps, and Joshua Altus will be at the rear bumper of the 54, Caleb Smith. So again, it looks like long game is what they're trying to work on right now. Not a bad strategy, especially for the OTSS Select Series presented by Empower Ed Research Institute. They're known for their long green flag runs, Jeremy, so not a bad idea to try to play that long game. And there's the snake in trying to do it. Altus not having any of it. He's going to follow down and get that draft pole right on the rear bumper. Is a 94. He's going to take it back to the top side on the outside of the 54 going into turn 1. And Joshua Altus looking like he's going to get the drive off. New leader, 94, Joshua Altus.
Yeah, no match whatsoever there. And, Ross got a little tight there. Actually, well, a little loose tight there off the inside of the white line in turn 2. As you mentioned in the qualifying, that you thought Bobby Mantle was kind of weird for not driving down there. And sometimes that little rumble strip can knock the truck really loose just past the white line. And so sometimes our little Timmy, see Ross there again, gets loose after he dipped the tire below the white line. So a little bit of a difference of grip when it comes to being above or below the painted white line here.
Yeah, and I mean, that's very accurate as well, as we've seen Ross Tatum get a little loose, but he is all over the rear bumper right now of the 94 as they go down the front stretch off into turn 1. And you see Joshua Altus goes down below the white line. That's the first time over the last lap or so we've seen it. He usually runs about a quarter of a lane or so above that. He gets a little wobbly on turn 2 exit, as does the one of Ross Tatum, Jeremy. So maybe we're starting to see a little bit of that tire wear and that tire strain come into effect.
100% here. And just to notate, Bobby Mantle was having storms in the area, and the storms got to him. So he has dropped out due to packet loss. So Mantle is going to be the third driver potentially out with, of course, Nate Beck not starting because of the the charter system and him being the last one in line, first one to be out. And Christopher Harrington, who technically was on the grid, did not start the race as well. So 3 drivers currently not on track, 25 left on podium. So we're going to go ahead and take our first picture-in-picture commercial break of the evening as they continue to cycle these very long, trusty green flag laps. We'll be right back.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful, booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair, now available.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Education has the power to transform lives, and Empower Ed Research Institute is helping lead the way. Through research, innovation, and collaboration, we work to strengthen education, expand opportunity, and spark positive change in schools and communities. Empower Ed Research Institute, powering the future of learning. Reach out and become a part of the movement.
And back here to full screen. Thank you to our partners that allow us to do this every single Tuesday and Thursday live on Nerd TV. Big help from a lot of them, whether it be products to try, whether it be drinks to drink, whether it be, I don't know, everything in between to keep us hydrated, keep us energized, keep us suited up. They're a big part of our repertoire of what we do here. So with that being said, we're almost on lap 30, the scheduled 90. So Dustin, just like that, we've been live in this race for trying to see the time. It's less than a half hour, already 30% of the way done in this 225-mile event presented by Ghost Motorsports, or Crown Jewel event number 2. Dustin, would you like to see it no other way than have a Crown Jewel race go so clean like this?
Yeah, and this is exactly how you want to see it take place. I mean, it's a Crown Jewel race is a big thing, as we're starting to see pit stops take place right now. New graphic here, Jeremy, that we've been working on behind the scenes. EJ Luna, Jonathan Hammond, Carson Osborne, and Jonathan Gaston down pit road. Caleb Smith also down pit road. So this new one will give you viewers out there a little bit of feedback. It'll tell you how long they've been on pit road. That means from the time they've hit the commitment cone until they exit pit road. And it tells you how long they've been in their box for service, as well as Caleb Smith. Again, Jonathan Hammond, Carson Osborne, Jonathan Gaston, EJ Luna, and Alejandro Khan, all down pit road.
Yeah, it's a kind of a perfect scenario if you're going to crash. But Jonathan Gaston, after you watch some of these drivers come down pit road, Jonathan Gaston wrecked into turn 3 and then forced himself to pit. Just happened to be the same time as your race leaders. So this kind of answers the question. You said they could go about 50 laps. I thought tires would be mad at them by then, and I think it is the tire game. They're going to split this race into thirds, 30, 60, then all the way to 90. So there's a lot of trucks, Dustin. Do you think this is on fuel mileage by chance? How many drivers are coming down at one time?
It could be. I mean, we're going based off the telemetry that was given to us from race admins. I think it could be maybe more so tire strategy, like you said, breaking it into thirds. They're going to two-stop this race to try to make sure that their trucks stay underneath them, rather than their rear end chasing them out of a corner. We've seen a lot more trucks towards the tail end of that run, Jeremy, really start to get loose, more wall contact. So this might not be a bad thing, as we have Abram Ghostin, Logan Brakey, Tyler Honeycutt coming down. Oh, Logan Brakey, wicked loose on pit entry. Keeps it going, though, but man, was that close.
Yeah. So close that Logan came up on the radio and kind of laughed about it. He knew he almost done messed up. So, cutting out real too close for a race that's been so clean. But let's see if we can have the events page that you have for Jonathan Gaston and Truck 72. As we've seen some trucks cycle through. New tires versus old. Here comes the one of Ross Tatum. Down pit road comes your points leader. He's got one more truck ahead of him, and that's it. As the little squirrely goes to one truck as well under braking.
Yeah, and again, that's going to be a brake bias thing, Jeremy. That's one of the things that the drivers do have control over. They can alter the brake bias. And if you have that percentage set a little too low on the percentages, under braking, it will get wicked loose like that. So it's definitely something that drivers have to pay attention to on what's happening. But there's your race leader. Ross Tatum hits his box right now. So again, the average stop, we're looking around 13 to 14 seconds, anywhere from 13 to 15 seconds. But it's that long pit road that drivers have to be on. And you see right now, it's almost a minute. So 53.2 seconds was how long that Ross Tatum was on pit road from commitment cone to exit cone.
Look at Ghostin, almost 2 minutes. He actually messed up entering pit road and had a unsafe pit entrance. The 25 all over the place coming on the pit road, so a couple of mishaps here. He's finally released at 2 minutes. And that's a 40-second hold plus pit time plus pit lane travel time for the 1 minute 59.6 second venture on pit road. So a messed up entrance from the 25, a crash from the 72 of Gaston into turn 3, a couple miscues, and they said, Dustin, right in that driver's meeting right before qualifying, they said practice your pit road, practice it. It's a little tricky, even though you got that long straightaway, like you said, with the brake bias. If you have it cranked up and you're wondering, it's Indianapolis, why do you need brake bias? Well, if your truck's running tight, if you set the brake bias all the way to the rear of the truck and you just burp the brake pedal into turns 1 and 3, it sets the nose, it gets the truck a little loose, and then the tightness takes over and mellows out the truck for a well-rounded corner. So you want that rear brake bias in Indianapolis just for the little touch on the corner entry. And if you don't change it entering the pits, well, you end up crashing.
Yeah, and it's very detrimental on pit road. I mean, Jeremy, we have been green flag racing since the drop of the green flag 34 laps ago. So pit road violations like unsafe pit entry, 40-second holds, it's going to be tough to come back from that, Jeremy. At this point in time, the 25 of Admiral Ghostin is going to need a caution to try to get him back on the lead lap. But as it sits right now, he's not even the first car a lap down. That's actually held by the 66 of Dave Harrington. So again, very tough to come back from these pit road, violations and pit road mishaps on such a draft heavy long track, especially when green flag racing is a premium.
I don't know if you look at the leaderboard there on the bottom of your screen. Ross Tatum, 5 seconds back now. Jacob Grant in third place, 3 seconds back. Altis and Smith just shining on pit road entry. Just absolutely crushing the field. They're all bunched up, and now look at them. Those two are just in their own little island at the moment for the time being. Altis, your leader, Caleb Smith, getting all the slipstream off the 94. And he might just hang tight here for a little bit, kind of run it out, and maybe make the stab to continue to run the lap sled here, as he has got the most laps so far this evening, I do believe.
Yeah, and again, we've said it time and time again, Jeremy, races are won and lost on pit road. So Ross Tatum was one of the last lead lap trucks, one of the last leaders to come down pit road, stayed out an extra lap or two before coming down pit road. So it is, that can make or break a race. And as you see right there, Jeremy, it's he actually waited 2 laps before coming down pit road as compared to your race leader. So Altis is 6 laps since his last pit, and Ross Tatum is 4 laps from his last pit. So again, 2 laps. That on fresh tires, that can make or break, and that could be where that stretch came out, because Ross Tatum was not on pit road. He actually had one of the shortest times on pit road, and his pit stop was comparable with some of the faster ones as well. So the only thing that it could be attributed to is either a mistake on the track where he couldn't get up to speed as well, or that those 2 laps were really detrimental to the one.
Yeah, we'll have to watch. He's now 4.5 back. He's already gained a half a second since we talked about him 2 laps ago. And 2 laps, that's a 5-second variance overall. That is a 2.5 second per lap, which I could see that. I could absolutely see that. If you're stuck behind traffic and you got old tires, that's a huge drop off, right? So then you maybe get some fresh air on that nose like he does there. You got no trucks in front. At least that's breaking the draft or the air off the nose of the truck here. So as we're approaching the halfway mark, we got about 7-8 laps away from that mark. Driver versus driver, P1 Altis, P2
Oh, that's incorrect.
I
It's
think our
P4.
coding's having a little. It's the second time they put
Yep.
Ross Tatum in P2 when it's not supposed to be. But either way, Ross is P4, not P2. But maybe he's P2 as far as like fastest trucks on the field right now.
Yeah, that I don't know, because even if you look at the last pit stop, it says
P1.
20. So
I
yeah,
don't We're having fun here.
yeah, it's a little
Doing
different,
good.
but the calculations are still calculating on that one. So I mean, it's at this rate right now. I mean, it's Ross Tatum has been faster than your race leader Joshua Altus, all 5 of the last 5 laps. So that's calculating about 14 laps. He should be able to catch him at this pace. So
Yeah, and clouds just continue to set over this track too. By the way, we've caught a glimpse of where the sun is poked out. It happened around like lap 15. It happened, I think, somewhere in the early 20s. But there's your overhead view. Dustin doesn't have the camera for the replays ready, but he's sure as hell has got the Nerd TV blimp flying sky high here this evening. And
because it
you
didn't
can see
didn't
off-
register, my guy. Sorry, I tried. It didn't register.
Tried this guy. Give him a pay raise. Why don't you already? And then, but as you saw way out in the distance, there's some sunlight there on the other side of town. But here's just one huge cloud just accumulating over this place. 40 laps now in the books, 50 to go as they get the line this time by. Altus and Caleb still with about a 4-second advantage. P3 versus P4, Dustin. It's up for grabs. Tatum just took it.
Yeah, and he's been tracking. He caught the 27 of Jacob Grant, was able to make the pass, complete the pass, and did it relatively quick, Jeremy. And that's the biggest thing. You don't want to be racing side by side because you lose time. Now he's got to try to track in. That is a almost 3.5-second gap between him and your front 2 runners of Joshua Altus and Caleb Smith. So he's got to get going.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if they're going to run at 30, 60, 90. You don't want to upset the tires. Still got 20 laps to go before you find your next round of green flag pit stops. And that one truck has already gained 2 seconds from his pit stop less than 10 laps ago. Just an impressive amount of pace that this one truck is carrying. But looking at Bradley Minor here in truck 46, having a pretty decent night, holding on to 10th place. Loosey Goosey goes one of our caffeine driver. That's me, Dustin. I'm not driving the car.
That is. Oh, it's because Bobby Mantle left, man. That was me. That was.
Okay. Well, there you go. I've never seen myself on that camera before.
We'll throw you back in there. See, you're just hanging out, man. You're hanging out in the booth. Yeah, there you go. Just
here.
driving away.
Let me slap my Moza racing wheel on. Let me just hop in here. But look at this guy, this 24 guy, EJ Luna. Just
He
mirror
always
check,
looks super focused, like laser focused. Every time we see his camera, this guy is always laser focused. Like, it doesn't blink that often either, man. Just take a blink, man. Take a blink.
Listen.
He's going to get to those straightaways, and you're going to see it blink. Here we go. He's going to sit here and straighten it out. Got to wait for it. There it is, see? He's going to sit here and take those blinks when he can through the corners. Laser focused.
This man with his Ray-Bans right now are just rocking. Is he wearing hearing aids? Or is that like a hearing system to where he doesn't...
No, earbuds. So it's essentially what I do with my headset, Jeremy. All of my race sounds go through my headset. So I actually have the closed helmet, so I get the full immersion in it. So all of his stuff is probably going through his earbuds right now so that he gets the full immersion on it. He can hear the wind. He can hear the other engines. It's actually one of the better ways of running iRacing is through either having your sounds go through your headset or earbuds like that.
Never thought about the hearing or the earbuds. That's kind of new. Maybe I should purchase some AirPod Pros and hook them up Bluetooth in my ear. I've never thought about that. My microphone's always been stuck to my headset, which I have a boom mic and I use that from time to time, but that might be a great idea. So EJ Luna teaching me something new anyways. So you don't run the earbuds, do you? you said you run the headphones.
Yes, I run my Razer Barracudas. So, and that's
Your
why I
Barracuda.
wish iRacing would put in different sound profiles so you can have a profile with one sound setting and a profile for another, because every time we broadcast, I have to set it all back to default. Otherwise, the sound for all the viewers out there is going to be all jacked up, and then when I go to race, I have to go and edit every one of my sound variations that I have. So it's kind of a pain in the butt, but when you're in the rig, when you're in the sim car or truck, whatever you're racing, you definitely get a lot more of that immersion and that feel with it. You can hear a lot more. It's definitely worth it. So, I mean, if you don't do it, Jeremy, or anybody out there that sim races doesn't do it, I would highly recommend running your sounds through your headset. And I actually got to thank Scott Martin from Icon Apparel Company. He was the one that turned me on to that, because that's how he runs his. And when we went up to Ishpeming, Michigan to visit him and his wife, I had a league race and hopped in his rig, finished P3 that race, but that turned me on to running everything through my headset. Haven't gone back since. Everything goes through headset.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to answer this for you, because they do offer in the UI control panels for each vehicle, right? So I guess if you were to load into the session as a spectator, you could technically choose which profile you're running, which may or may not include your audio source. Because if they did that, then you could set up your own personal one and save it as broadcast. So that might be something that we could tinker with.
We might have
so
to toy around
do
with that. Absolutely.
Yeah, that might be something. So let us know in the comments. I know you guys are watching. We got 2 on Twitch, and we got 16 on the YouTube, because we're sharing everything on the YouTube side here this evening. But let us know if you can set up a sound profile through the UI through your vehicle, and just make a custom one and say, hey, this is for XYZ. So as we're now 46, Dustin, we are officially halfway done, halfway to go in this race. We got about 15 laps before we're going to see a flooding of trucks on pit road cycling again for the final time, if it stays green flag all the way, which I'm still very impressed with how these drivers are able to do that. And it looks about 5 trucks, 1 lap down or more, 3 being out of this race. You're kind of just cycling through camera to camera and seeing where everybody's at on track at this time.
Yeah, and everybody is spread out, Jeremy. This is what pit stops at Indianapolis after 46 green flag laps looks like. Jeremy, we've got over half of the track covered in trucks of varying distances, varying group sizes. This is what long runs at Indy with green flag pit stops looks like.
1000%. Let's go on board with the Oakley visor camera. We don't run this too often anymore. My favorite set of eyewear that I wear all the time. Doesn't matter if it's sunglasses or what we're wearing here tonight on camera, but maybe we get a couple of viewpoints from the driver's perspective here at Indianapolis, because the wreck count is basically nothing. And here we go. We're right on board Polly Torrance truck number 6 here, which on the chats earlier, he had a shout out saying, hey, get up there, Polly. That was coming from Mark Ryan on YouTube. So this guy, he practiced in 11th. He's been running 10th basically most of the race, currently in P12. So Polly's just having a very, very consistent top 10-ish run here this evening.
Yeah, and truck doesn't look too bad, Jeremy. Not a whole lot of wheel movement going through the corner there as he dives it into the corner there. A little loose there. You see he's got to counter steer it a little bit, but not too terrible. We have seen a lot worse out of a number of trucks tonight, so not too bad, but definitely still a little looseness coming out. But, I mean, Jeremy, these trucks here, you want to drive them off that right rear. That's typically how you want to drive these trucks. You just don't want to do it too much, because you will burn the shit out of that right rear. But he is tracking, Jeremy. He is trying to chase down the 24 VJ Luna. He's all over the bumper right now going down that front stretch.
Yeah, great view here. Watching him just work the draft a little bit. not even trying to poke the nose out, maybe slightly doing it. Oh, there we go. He was kind of leaning into it. EJ Luna noticed it, gave way just like that. Respectable racing throughout this place, even if it's not for the race lead. 10th place, he said, I'm going to let you slide by. Not a problem for myself. And just like that, Polly up to 11th. And since we got a little bit of free time just talking about the race, Dustin, we got a couple of new partners. You noticed one there on the pre-race show, Dubby. You actually have tried a couple of drinks. I got the s'mores one on the way. That's gonna be weird. S'mores.
You got that one on the way too, my guy.
Nick,
No joke.
oh, you put it in as well.
Yes.
See, Dustin's got a Poke Belt full of W on the way because he really thoroughly enjoyed his first set of flavor. So he's tried. So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna double down and go all in. I got this cup, this one right here. I got this one on the way, and I'm gonna try the s'mores as well. You mix with milk, and it gives you a s'mores drink with milk that has energy. Questionable, but we're gonna enjoy it. That's gonna be our energy booster for our late night gaming. And then, you know, you could put it into a cup, right, Dustin? You could put it not just a shaker cup, but you also put it into a Frost Buddy, which you can put your energy drink cans, you can put your to-go drinks in, you can have just a large 40 or 50 ounce tumbler from a product called Frost Buddy, and that's at frostbuddy.com/nerditudes. It's not a promotion code, it's just a URL link, frostbuddy.com/nerditudes. And you just use that link. It doesn't do anything special on the front end, but it just lets them know that we sent you there, and it's kind of the cool thing. I've actually owned one of them for a while, the XL universal sized one for the you know, the 16 ounce Monster Energy drink cans and whatever else that comes in the bigger can size, and that drink stays cold 3 times as longer than it would be without.
Oh yeah, I mean it's fantastic stuff, and you actually just ordered a Frost Buddy, and I've actually been looking at it. Haven't figured out which one I want to get yet, the Universal or the Universal XL, but I think it's going to be one of those because they're universal. So it's one thermal cooler that can fit multiple things. Can fit a 12-ounce can of soda, can fit a Monster Energy, can fit the very slim cans of Red Bull or Victory Fuel, if you want to sit here and throw that in there, because they're very similar size as well. It can fit a lot of stuff. Very cool product. Go check them out. Definitely good if you want your drink to stay cold for a long period of time, like if we're broadcasting or gaming, Jeremy.
Yeah. And actually, you know what? Turn on my camera again, because I do have another one that I've also had for a while. That's Dustin good. So my wife Tara, this is a Frost Buddy. It has like a purplish blue. It's a 40 ounce. It's a pop top for a straw, and it's 40 ounces cool because if you're a person who needs chapstick holder. And down here, it's a keychain holder, so you can hold your key fob, you can chapstick it, and you can drink all in the same cup. It's also a Frost Buddy product, so we've actually owned 2 of them for a while. And I bought my 3rd one. It's going to be a replacement for the wife's that cup I just showed you. It's a brand new theme for book lovers. So yeah, I've been using this product way before we even thought about bringing them on board here for Nerd TV. So definitely stand by it.
There you go. Talking about stand by it right now, Jeremy. 94 Joshua Altus has stretched his lead out to over a second over Ross Tatum, who has not only got by the 27 of Jacob Grant, but also got by the 54 of Caleb Smith. Caleb Smith has actually fallen back to 4th. Jacob Grant was able to take that 3rd spot, but sitting right at about 1 second gap, Jeremy, as we should be nearing here in about the next 6 to 8 laps, what would be the last green flag pit stop for the Brickyard 225 presented by Ghost Motorsport.
Yep, give it about 3 to 5 laps, maybe a touch bit longer, and as long as they did it like they did the first 30 laps of the race, they are going to be flooding pit road in just swarms. of trucks here. As you see, the Alejandro Khan a little backed up there. Caleb Smith back there at a 4th place, 4.5 seconds back
He
almost
just
from
tank
your
slapped
race
the wall
lead.
too.
I thought I noticed that too out of the corner of my eye. Not the first time he's done that. Remember, he did that when he had a 2-second lead early on in this event. And so, you know, he's testing his limits, Dustin. It's very, this track is so mental. The long straightaways are so long. You're just driving, you're thinking about your line, and then all of a sudden you're like, you know what? Let me check my fuel mileage, or let me see what my tire percentage was. And just like that, it throws you off your game. You miss your mark in the corner. Your truck gets too tight, and then you smack the wall because 90-degree corners, rectangular track. It's not like a normal sweeping corner, if you will. It's kind of sweeping, but not really because it's so flat. And Caleb just a little off the mark here a couple times this evening.
And to put it in perspective for the viewers out there, these corner exits, they come up on you pretty quick. It reminds me of like a Dover, Jeremy, where those corner exits and those walls will come up on you. You feel like you've got more room, but before you know it, you are already encroaching on that, you know, retaining wall. And this track here is even harder and more difficult for drivers because unlike Dover, you are carrying a metric crap ton of speed going into these corners more so than what you would at Dover. So they really sneak up on you, Jeremy. And like you said, you just miss your focus, even the slightest, and it can be costly.
They can cost you 0.3 of a second on a lap without even hitting the wall. Or if you do hit the wall, it costs you even more. You saw almost a half-second drop from Caleb on this first incident around lap 15 or such, before he finally started to figure it out. And it's a little battle here, a little 72. Looks like Gaston going to give way to the 24. EJ Luna, I said battle. That wasn't a battle. That was just a give me there. Lap 57 of the scheduled 90. 2 or 3 laps left. We're going to see these pit stops here, and you get to bring up the fancy graphic again and see what the pit stops look like.
Yeah. Like I said, try to bring everything in, and those will start populating. So when the first driver hits pit road, you're going to see that start populating on the left side of your screen and start giving you guys live telemetry data on pit road. And it's nice, not only for the viewers, Jeremy, but for us as well, because we can see where drivers have missed the mark and have lost time on pit road, which means they are going to lose positions and distance on that track. So it's a helpful tool all the way around.
Cycling through some of the other drivers here is the 46, Bradley Minor again. Still, we talked about him 15 laps ago, and he's still in that same exact position. P10, 21 seconds back of your race leader, Joshua Altus here, who himself has a 1-second lead over his teammate, Ross Tatum. And up to 21 drivers on the lead lap, 22 on back is 1 lap down or more. No pit stops this time around here as we're on lap 58 of that scheduled 90. And you see our the race control, Robert Martin, who's on the YouTube and Twitch there, saying it's been quite a relaxing night, to be honest. Well,
I can
when
imagine.
you got nothing to call, he's just watching trucks go in rectangular formation, single file. Absolutely, it's one of the most calmest nights. You know, this to be a, as you see Jonathan Gaston on pit road, just great graphic there. I wish it could cycle from the bottom to the top, but we'll take what we can get. But yeah, it must be an easy cakewalk job for Robert Martin just to show up to these races for OTSS and go, all right, well, let me just play my Game Boy for half the race, and then, oh, look, there's something I can watch and review for a moment. You know, that's kind of cool for him.
That's true. That is very accurate. These drivers make it easy for their race control, Robert Martin. But like I said, I mean, I am surprised, Jeremy. I mean, as many times as we've seen a truck get loose on corner exit, tank slap the wall on corner exit, whether it's corners 1 or 2, doesn't matter because it's a rectangular shape. These drivers have done a fantastic job of keeping things going. And wow, what a race coming in pit road side by side. is going to be the 54 Caleb Smith, and that's going to be the 20 of Van Zant. They came in side by side. Caleb Smith was not wanting to lose any time on pit entry on that one.
Had to go take a look at Caleb Smith pit entry there. It was just Van Zant was so slow. It made Caleb Smith look like he was coming in, way too hot. But when he got to the line, his speedometer there, if you will, said 64 miles an hour. Pit speed is 55. Let's see if he gets held for that. Left sides are up. Let's see if he drops and goes. Yep. So he got down to speed quickly enough. iRacing stewards a little lenient on the pit road entrance there as everybody else goes through nice and clear.
Yeah, your race leader, Joshua Altus, coming in right now. Jacob Grant, Will Bustler in the 11, and Thomas Ogle coming in as well in the 23. They're coming down pit road. Donnie Honeycutt, Danny White also coming down for what should be their final pit stop. EJ Luna also coming down pit road. So, Jeremy, this is lighting it up. 30 laps to go, right on the money. This will be the last one. Ross Tatum looking to stay out. Now, Jeremy, we hadn't been able to determine if the time lost by the one of Ross Tatum was due to him staying out or it was due to him trying to work traffic while on either older tires or while on newer tires and trying to work around drivers with older tires, but he's pulling the same strategy as he did on the first pit stop, looking like he's going to stay out at least 2 more laps from everybody else that is pitted. So we're going to have to see exactly where this is going to cycle him after this cycle of pit stops takes place.
Well, apparently he liked what he saw from the data when he did that, even though he didn't get to the race lead by chance, but we'll see what he does on this cycle of green flag stops. Logan Brakey on pit road, Ronnie Hurst also following him, and Tyler Honeycutt. We got about 5 trucks on right now. Alejandro Khan, another one. Bradley Miner, Jackson Clark, Paulie Torrance. Pit road filled with exactly 29-30 laps to go. Just like it is clockwork, 30 laps prior.
Yep, and it looks like your race leader, Ross Tatum, is coming down. Stayed out 2 laps later. Big lockup, Jeremy. That might be a violation if he didn't get it down in time. He had that thing locked up for a long mile.
I'll take a look at it on my end here. He's going to cross the line at 53 miles per hour.
Oh, he got it down.
Maximized it, dude.
Yes, he did. That was a hot pit entry. He had that thing locked up, smoke trailing, got it down, plus 2 mile an hour under. So excellent job on that one there. Definitely, like you said, maximized that pit entry. So he's in for what is going to be his final pit stop. Alejandro Khan coming out. He was on for an extended period, almost 3 minutes in the stall. Going to be almost 3.5 minutes down pit lane for the driver of the 47.
Yep, that's what we call efficiency. And if he didn't have so many of those zebra kicks for lunch today, he probably wouldn't have made it down on pit speed in time. But we'll see what it looks like as he completes out through what the difference is between him and the competition that he has been chasing all night long. He is on the back straightaway. Altus is in turn 3. So I think he got it within 4-ish seconds. 5 right now. Yeah, about 5. It's about where he left off there on the initial stop. But we'll see what happens. He knows he can run a little bit longer, a little bit harder here late in the going with the fresher tires. But, there's your race leader, Joshua Altus, 94, as everything is cycled through for the second time.
Yeah, and again, that is the last pit stop, Jeremy. These drivers now, you have what you have at this point in time. You got to try to make do with what you have. You see the one of Ross Tatum trying to work some lap traffic right now, and he's trying to maximize his tires because he knows 27 laps at a 2.5 mile track is a long time, but on the flip coin, it's also not a long time when you have 4.8 seconds that you have to try to make up at a very heavy drafting track. So we're going to have to see how that happens. After pit stops, DJ Honeycutt is cycled into 4th place. Thomas Ogle has put himself in the top 5. Jacob Grant, Jeremy, has dropped down to 6th place after that cycle of pit stops. So not as efficient as the first cycle of green flag pit stops as the 27, now in 6th. Will Bustler in 7th. Danny White comes out in 8th. Donnie Honeycutt in 9th. And Brad Miner stays right where he's at in 10th with Polly Torrance chasing him.
Got report to Donnie Honeycutt. The 22 smacked the wall hard off a turn 3 exit on lap 56. So about 9 or 10 laps ago, and he's got some right front damage, slowing up his truck here a little bit. He's actually had to wave on a couple trucks. So Donnie Honeycutt not 100% here the remainder of the race. He had 6 minutes of optional damage when he got to pit road. Did not take it all, of course, but he's going to limp that thing around here till the end of this race as it feels like we're going to go green to checkered. No, I am not jinxing it. We are going to knock on wood. This will happen. But we're going to take our final picture-in-picture break as everyone has cycled through their pit stops. So we'll be back here in just a few laps.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair, now available.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Education has the power to transform lives, and Empower Ed Research Institute is helping lead the way. Through research, innovation, and collaboration, we work to strengthen education, expand opportunity, and spark positive change in schools and communities. Empower Ed Research Institute, powering the future of learning. Reach out and become a part of the movement.
And back here to full screen, that was our final picture-in-picture break. We are going to go 19 laps to the end here. Chatting away as we had some action there, Dustin. I had you pan the camera over to Jonathan Hammond, EJ Luna, Logan Brakey. Those guys are loosey-goosey, and now Tyler Honeycutt's brought himself in. Jackson Clark in the 31, Ronnie Hurst. So we got a little 6-truck battle here with less than 20 laps to go.
Yeah, just outside the top 10. This is going from 12th all the way back to 17th with Ronnie Hurst in the 33. And, I mean, all these trucks, Jeremy, I mean, you could throw a blanket over all of them. And we've seen EJ Luna get wicked loose. Jonathan Hammond got wicked loose. We've seen some pass attempts by Luna on the 29 of Brakey. Some pass attempts from Hammond on the 24 of Luna. And these drivers are trying to track. We've seen Jackson Clark try to make a pass attempt on the 45 of Honeycutt. This has been a very racy pack late here in the stages of the Brickyard 225.
Yeah, I like to see it. We had a lot of just single file lull time, if you will. As you got Ronnie Hurst looking underneath the 31, Jackson Clark. Let's roll that beautiful A footage, as you like to call it. There it is. Oh yeah, up and close, personal POV. The good kind of POV, which is this battle right here. 31-33, door touch contact. That's cutting it real close here. Dustin, I thought you liked your camera, but let's try not to lose them.
I agree. And we got another battle going on here. Tyler Honeycutt almost thought about looking underneath the 92, and he is going to look under the 92. Nope, thinks better of it, pulls it back in. But Jackson Clark going to sit here and try to pull his nose out. Not going to have the run, going to have to pull back in. And Jeremy, that's what we were talking about. These drivers have to time these runs, and it can be tough trying to time these runs, when to sit here and pull out of the draft and when to get back in. Jackson Clark looks to dive it under, has to check up to keep out of the rear bumper of the 45. This is a very racy group, and Jeremy up front, not to get away from this one, but that's a race that's going to be building up as well. 94 Altus's lead down to 0.2 of a second. Ross Tatum has chased him down with 17 to go.
Where did he come from? Remember, it took him the whole field run to almost get there? Now he just spent the last 15 laps from 5 seconds back to battling for the race lead. You remember how last week's race ended up, Dustin?
Yep. And I do believe that
Tatum won.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry if you were trying to answer that. I just was kind of segueing into saying, yeah, Ross Tatum was one. And second place was, Joshua Altus was one, Ross Tatum 2. It can be a little reverse action here.
Altus had bragging rights for the week, because Ross said, yep, he's going to have bragging rights for the week now. Is Ross Tatum going to be able to try to regroup on that, capitalize, and finish one better and have bragging rights this week? So we're going to have to keep an eye on that battle. This battle here still heating up, a little space between a few of the trucks, but Jeremy's still got a close battle between Brakey and Luna. Still got a close battle between Hammond and Honeycutt and Clark and Hurst. So that's a little 4-truck one here, but these drivers not letting go of each other. They're still tracking.
They're absolutely still tracking. Here we go for the race lead. Let's see how clean this pass is made here as they go off into turn 2. Ross is going to give it up a little bit there. Styling. The 94 Altus goes right up to the top, wiggly loose, but still throttled down all the way through. Keeps the race lead momentarily.
Yeah, that high line momentum on that corner exit, I mean, really propelled the 94 forward back to 0.2 of a second lead over Ross Tatum. Now Ross has got to try to build that run back up and try it again. Jeremy, as it gets closer, I mean, he's really going to have to lay it in there. He was conservative on that corner exit, didn't want to drift up anymore. But there was still some room to play with. If he's going to want to complete this pass, he is going to have to use up every inch of space between him and Altus.
You don't want to wreck your teammate. You could take the bumper and shove it really close to the back bumper of the 94.
Pack some air.
Pack some air. Get the truck really light. Chase them up the track. You could pass them that way, or you could just try to find that sweet spot there in turn 2 or turn 4 to really just get the exit speed down, chase them all the way down the straightaway, and drive it deep into 1 and 3. As we're going to ride on board with TwistedSpeedSetup.com in-truck telemetry. Ross Tatum looking, but Altus, ever since Ross got side by side with him, Altus has had that as number.
Yeah, you see that draft pole pulls him in. It looks like Ross dives it in a little deeper than what Altus does. Actually, Altus matches the dive into turn 1. When we went into turn 3 and 4, Altus was a little conservative on that, and Ross was able to make a little time up. But this battle here definitely heating up, Jeremy, with 13 laps to go. This is going to be a good one.
This is very good. Yeah, I'm still watching that 6-truck battle that was around 15th or such, but 2 great battles really to kind of flip-flop around. Of course, one's for the race lead, but this one's still very close. They haven't changed much positions, if at all, but it's still nose to tail here, really close in the going, as we're almost to 10 laps to go. 11 and a half left here now. This is what we see out of this Crown Jewel event, Dust. A little bit of everything, no cautions, but we've seen everything else. Door to door, a little bit of contact, chasing each other around the track, some blocking going on, clean pit stops. Been loving what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, excellent racing. It's what you would expect from a Crown Jewel. To recap, Donnie Honeycutt has fallen out of the top 10. He's in P11 right now, just in front of that pack, led by Logan Brakey that we've also been following. He talked about that damage, Jeremy. Not going to be able to try to capitalize and win the Indianapolis Crown Jewel. Remember, he did win the season opener at Daytona, won that Crown Jewel event. Not going to see the double deuce in victory lane for the second Crown Jewel. We will be crowning a Indianapolis Crown Jewel champion new this time around.
Doesn't matter which one of these trucks it will be new. And cycling back to the big pack here, looks like they're gonna grow a truck. Maybe it's still 6 or is it 7 now? Looks like it might be. No, it's still just 6. It's 4 versus 2 now.
Tyler Honeycutt got around Ronnie Hurst.
Yeah, he sure did. So he's finally picking up some speed there. Jackson Clark slowing down a little bit. Jonathan Hammond. Actually, no, I've reversed that. The 31, Clark got around the 92 of Hammond. So now he is moving forward. Now the 92 is going to be closing in on the front bumper of the 45 of Tyler. So Hammond starting to lose his truck a little bit here with 11 laps to go.
Yeah, he's starting to lose his truck. 31 of Jackson Clark starting to track in and get closer to the 24 of EJ Luna and the 29 of Logan Brakey. Big check there by the 24, and he's going to lose a lot of momentum and a lot of positions as Jackson Clark gets around. Jonathan Hammond looks to get around. Tyler Honeycutt looks to get around. And, man, he is out of sorts, Jeremy.
Yeah, I was trying to see where the error happened there. How did the 24 just lose so much speed? It looked like he had a clean exit of turn 2, but the entrance was really slow, and I think that little bit of difference with the draft just brought the 24 back, because he's going to really close in on Hammond's left rear, able to get the nose underneath. Back to side-by-side action as we go spoiler camera here by Frosty Buddy, as they're going to look at the 92 all the way down the back straightaway. Does he tuck in? Does he try to hold on? He's given a lot of space. No side draft for the 24. And Ronnie Hurst going to sneak through and go for a little 2-for-1.
Yeah, is Tyler Honeycutt going to try to work in as well? So, yeah, it looks like the handling might have gone away from the 24, Jeremy. He looks a lot more free than some of the other trucks on corner exit here. I've seen a lot of wiggling out of that 24, which is not what you want, but this pack here, side by side. Now EJ Luna gets in, little wall tag by the 24, but still side by side is the 33 of Hurst and the 45 of Tyler Honeycutt. They go into the corner. Hurst has to check up from drifting up. Now EJ Luna going to try to go to the outside.
Good stuff here. Great launch off corner exit goes. EJ going to keep the 33 at bay. Great entry to exit combination there from the outside lane. Clears him by the truck length or 2, getting off into turn 3. There's a 31 and 29. Jackson Clark a little bit faster than most of these guys in this vicinity. Now he's going to put himself in a decent position to maybe try to pass this 29 truck. And down the front straightaway they go. These two is really just breaking away from the other 4 behind them.
Yeah, that race and exchanging on that pack behind, led by Jonathan Hammond, really slowed it up. It was breaking the draft. Remember, the side draft has more of a negative effect now on drivers. It will slow you down. So as they went down that front stretch and they were 2 by 2, that didn't help them. The side by side didn't help them. Now that they're straight lining, wicked loose is the 92 coming off a corner exit. They're starting to close in, getting a little draft pull from the 47 of Alejandro Khan, 45 of Tyler Honeycutt, looking to go to the inside of the 92 of Hammond. He's going to sit here and try to stick it as they work their way through.
Oh! Race leader Joshua Altus slaps the wall off turn 2 exit. Ross Tatum to the inside. Side by side, draft a little bit. New race leader Ross Tatum is going to blinky right there. And here we go. Nerd TV Rewind here for the first time tonight. We're going to see Altus little bump off the apron on the inside. Hit the rumble strips, washed up the track, and boom, just like that. All that work he was doing in a blink of an eye goes away. Ross Tatum to the point.
Oh, man, and that's detrimental. I mean, it's as a driver, 6 laps to go. You do that with 7 laps to go in the race. Now you got to try to rinse and rebound from that, and you don't know how the truck is handling. But as it sits right now, it looks like he's having a hard time closing in on his teammate Ross Tatum there to try to make it as Tatum. A little loose coming out of turn 2 corner as well. So both trucks looking like they are on the struggle bus a little bit.
Yeah, Ross looked like he was going to hit the wall and had to overcrank the wheel, keeping it off the wall, but then it upset the rear of the truck, and he almost lost enough speed for the 94 to re-attack. Did not do so. It's going to be 5 laps to go this time at the start-finish line. Can the 94 of Altus, can he shake that little wall contact? Because it's very easy to get in your head and say, my truck is wrecked. And then you can't put 100% of it. Here he goes. He's going to look to the inside. Not going to be enough space. I think he's shaking it, Dustin. He's all in.
Yeah, he's all in. Full sender, bud. That was a good move, though. I mean, that would have been a hard dive down there. Could have risked making contact with Ross Tatum, wiping both of them out. So, again, it's that timing thing, Jeremy. It's very tough to try to get that timing and that draft pull. But he, again, rolled out of the throttle. He's going to sit here and fall back, get the pole, rinse, repeat, reset, try it again. Again, like you said, 5 laps to go, so that race is heating up. Race back here on that pack we've been following, Jeremy. Looks like it's been separated out. Logan Brakey holding off the 31 at Jackson Clark. Tyler Honeycutt got around Jonathan Hammond, who has actually lost positions to both Ronnie Hurst and EJ Luna. But the big race going to be right up here for that race lead. 4 laps to go, Jeremy.
I don't think there's a way for you to go back and look, but going into turn 4 on lap 85, Jackson Clark in turn 4 was set to pass the 29, and the 29 cut his nose off, and it required Jackson to really check up, or else those 2 drivers are going to wreck. Caused some space between the 29 and the 31 as they continue trucking forward. You see the 94 not letting up here, still wants to have a chance again at the race win. Will be 3 laps to go at the line, just about 8 miles left in this race for the Brickyard 225 presented by Ghost Motorsports.
Yeah, again, 94 still trying to rebound from that tank slap that he did on corner exit. Going to be 3 laps to go this time by as they cross the line. These two are in a league of their own. Caleb Smith back there in 3rd place. He is 7, almost 7.5 seconds off your race lead right now, but he has a comfortable lead over himself. And the 27 of Jacob Grant got about about 3-second lead or so over himself and Jacob Grant, who is in P4. Thomas Ogle, though, excellent run for that 23 team, Jeremy. Top 5, and he's trying to track that 27. But this is your race, Jeremy, as they're working their way around to try to come back to 2 laps to go.
That's it. 94 just been stuck. And so was Ross Tatum when he was behind his teammate Joshua there. It's all about that aero dependency. The race leader has a way more advantage. But now they're closing up on Nathan Van Zandt, a lap truck. This could or could not play a factor in the 1's race lead. It's going to tighten up the 1. Altus is all but there. He has to change up turn 1. He's going to lose a little bit of ground that time. Gets into turn 2. He's going to have to hope that he gets a great launch off corner exit. He does. Can he chase him down? It looks like he's going to get pretty close here overall. Let's see what this lap truck does.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the deciding factor as they come up, because they are going to catch this lap truck. It looks like probably right around the exit at turn 4 down the straightaway, coming to the white flag. So, I mean, if they catch the lap truck in time, that lap truck has got plenty of room to pull all the way down to the bottom and let him go. And actually, Jeremy, it looks like they may catch him going into turn 1, if not the exit of turn 2, which could play a big role in this. White flag presented by the OTSS Select Series and Empower Ed Research Institute. Dive it off into turn 1. Ross Tatum does, coming up on the lap truck right now, and he's going to stay way high. Excellent call. Good veteran and sportsman move there. Turn 2 exit. This is the last chance that 94 Joshua Altus has to make a run. He has got to close in on the 1 of Ross Tatum. He is going to have to full send it into turn 3 to make up as much ground as possible, stay as close as possible. And he tries, little drift up on corner exit. Hard impact for the 94 of Altus. That is going to end his chances there, as Ross Tatum is going to make it through turn 4, off down the straightaway. And your crown jewel winner for the Brickyard 225, driver number 1, Ross Tatum.
Excellent call to finish the race. Dustin there is number 1, going to extend his points lead from that whopping 34 points probably into the 40 ranges. Zebra Cakes again gets it done for his 3rd win in 9 races. So he has won 33.3% of the races this season. Congratulations for truck number 1. For the 2nd Crown Jewel event, he's going to burn it down for sure on the front straightaway. And your top 3 is Ross Tatum, Joshua Altus, Jacob Grant.
Did get by Caleb Smith in the closing lap there, so that was a hard battle as well, as we were covering the race for the the victory.
That, by the way, was your same exact top 3 as last week. Same drivers we're going to be talking to 2 weeks in a row. We're going to watch them do a little bit of burnout action, and then we're going to go over the unofficial results, and we'll bring them all in 10:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Broadcast, Dustin, way under 2 hours, so these guys know how to get it done.
That's what happens when you go flag to flag, Jeremy.
Cleanest racing on iRacing. I would like to put the vote out there and see who has much cleaner than this, but here we go, burning it down here. Zebra cake style. I never had a rubber flavored one, but we're going to do it here for the fans in Indianapolis. He's using flirting. The wall to his advantage. I think he's cheating, Dustin. He's using the wall to do a straight burnout. This doesn't count. Absolutely cheating. Look at that. No, I'm sorry, sir. No, we're not giving. You're just holding the throttle down. This is cheating.
We're gonna call you on that one, Ross. We're gonna call you on that one.
We are. 100% we are. Get your butt out there in the middle of the track and actually do a burnout. Come on now. Yeah. This guy.
This guy. Oh man.
Well, some of the latest burnouts we've seen all year. We're gonna go. Unofficial results. Look at our top 10, see some other information. There we go. Ross Tatum, Joshua Altis, Jacob Grant. 2 weeks in a row, we're going to talk to those three. Then Caleb Smith and Thomas. I've been calling him Ogle. You call him Ogle. We'll see which one that is, but he's going to round out your top 5. DJ Honeycutt in 6th. Will Bustler in 7th. Danny White, P8. Brad Miner in 9th. Paulie Torrance rounds out the top 10. And there's your notable mentions. Caleb with the pole. Thomas Ogle with the fastest lap. Didn't expect to see that
He
there.
was
The
flying.
52.9.
Yeah, he was flying. That's why when we went through the top 5, we talked about him on that because he was putting on. I mean, that was a hell of a run for the 23 team for sure.
I don't have to fact check, but that might be the only 52-second lap ran the entire event between practice, qualifying, race. That's a solid lap time there from the 23. Joshua Altis led the most laps there at 57. And Logan Brakey, hard charger, plus 16 positions from his starting position there. And there we go. Top 3 is ready in the waiting room. So we have an iRacing iFlag post-race show as we get our cameras up, fueled by the Dubby with Dustin's new favorite energy beverage. He's so excited to get these other ones in the mail because his first ones was just set the standard. I feel like there with that lemon flavor, but I think we got third place ready. That's going to be Ross. No, I got that mixed up there. Jacob Grant. Here we go. We're going to pull him in here. Jacob, 2 weeks in a row, we're going to talk to you. Third place finisher there. That truck really fast there on the long run. Just what sets you back a little bit further to separate you in the top 2?
On my second pit stop there, I don't really know what I did differently. I was just talking to Ross and Josh about this. I guess I just downshifted into first too early, and it just chattered the rear tires, and it just slid and kind of spun out in my pit box. Had it back up, and then I was too far left, so I lost like 10 seconds to Josh, and um, just got put back in traffic. And honestly, I was just driving the wheels off the thing. I wanted to get back to third. Caleb pit early and realized that he was running short on fuel, so he was trying to save and save and save. And I was like, well, maybe if he runs out, I can get back to third. I get by Thomas, I can get to third. Just all these scenarios running in my head, right? And then luckily it worked out, and I got back to third. Caleb ran out of fuel coming out of 4, and I passed him right there at the line.
Yeah, I mean, excellent run. We didn't even realize that we were covering the battle for the race lead there. And we didn't. I mean, there was a good amount of space, about 3.5 seconds between Caleb and yourself. And then after the race was done and we seen your name in third, we were like, "Whoa, he did get around him." So I mean, that makes more sense. But tell us about this race. I mean, Indianapolis. Seemed like we seen a lot of loose trucks out there. And then at times they had to chase it up the track or they got tight. A lot of wall bouncing too for these trucks. I know it took a number of drivers out. Donnie Honeycutt took a lot of damage on it. That's actually what ended up knocking Caleb Smith out of the race lead. He tank slapped the wall quite a bit as well. So kind of walk us through, how was Indianapolis tonight for the last crown jewel of the season?
Um, Honestly, I had a blast. I thought the track handled well. I thought the truck handled well. Um, to me, it felt great. To others that were in my chat that I was talking to, some of them were complaining about being too loose, too tight, not being able to get any speed in dirty air, this and that. Um, but honestly, you just hit your marks, and if you get behind somebody with dirty air, brake bias is a real big thing with these trucks. Honestly, with any car that you race around an oval in dirty air, the lower your brake bias, the more front turn you're going to have. So I started off at 58, and I think the stock is like 62 and a half in the trucks or something like that. I always go all the way down to 58 on big tracks or mile and a half tracks, and there in that race, I actually dropped it down in race to 56 for dirty air, and just dragging the brake through the corners, holding it down as low as I can, and really using those rumble strips a little bit. You didn't want to get on too much; it'd make you loose. But if you just barely hovered over them with your like the left half of the left tires, um, it really just rotated the truck a lot better, and you could get a good little run on somebody and try to send it into them. Braking was a really big issue tonight for a lot of guys, not braking enough or braking too much in certain points. So Indianapolis in any car, in my opinion, is honestly just all about hitting your marks. If you can hit your marks and be clean and stay off that wall, you'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that, man. Great analysis there, by the way, for this race, and congrats on back-to-back P3s. That's a strong performance there. But floor is yours before we let you go. Any shout-outs?
Yeah, first I'd like to thank you guys for putting on an awesome broadcast. Old Dogs Racing for picking me up this season. Danny White especially reached out to me and asked if I'd come and race for Old Dogs and him this season, and took the opportunity to join, and it's been a blast so far. I think I'm going to be second in points after this race. So I'm doing all I can for Old Dogs to try to get them a championship. Ross is really making that hard for me. Um, Shout out to all the Old Dogs teammates over there. Shout out to Caitlin for supporting me and allowing me to, or not allowing me, but supporting me and watching me race. And she enjoys it just as much as I do. So love her for that. Everybody at OTSS who puts this thing on, all our sponsors, Empower ED, my personal sponsors, CRL, Grant Creative, and a bunch of few others that I'm missing.
Yeah, for that, yeah, you and Tyler Honeycutt did come in your tied P2 in points. He finished 13th, you finished third, so you were definitely P2 going into next week there for race number 10. So congrats once more, man. We'll catch you next week.
Awesome. Hopefully I can talk to you again next week.
Yeah, let's go for the trifecta. Yes, sir. And that was Jacob Grant there, P3 here tonight. Now we're going to talk to the guy in second place who won last week. Had the bragging rights last week, but then he handed the torch over to Ross there with a little bit of a tail slap there off of turn two, man. Great race overall. You led the most laps here tonight.
Yeah, I freaking gift wrapped it, put a bow on it, gave him little Debbie with it, and handed him the trophy. It was yeah, I'm pretty pissed at myself, to be honest with you. I love Indy. I've got a lot of history with this track. I've given away a championship here in another league, and just always seem to come up just short. So that's just adding to my frustration for sure.
Listen, Linda, listen, he does not need any more little Debbies. We're still waiting on ours. But I mean, everything aside, my guy, I mean, that was a hell of a run. I mean, you did excellent. The pressure was on that one there. But we have heard from a number of different drivers about the trucks here. A lot of complaints about looseness. Then we hear complaints about it being tight. You guys broke it up into 3 sections, 30 laps apiece. How was the handling towards the tail end of this, and did that play any factor into what happened to where you ultimately slapped the wall and the rest, as they say, is history?
Yeah, it was definitely a handful. I mean, just to begin with, all four of these corners are so unique, and you have to attack it in different ways. And yeah, between the weather, man, like the sun kept popping in and out, and it would get cloudy, and then just the overall build of the truck, depending on if you were in dirty air or clean air, it changed the handling. So, I started the race in dirty air, so it acted pretty tight in traffic. And then once I got clean air, I was like, oh man, this feels really good. And then it got like wicked loose in the middle of the run, and then toward the end of the run, it would be like just right. So start off good, get wicked loose, and then be great. And I knew he was gonna catch me with the 2 lap fresher tires, like he had done the run before. He didn't quite get as close the run before, but um, I just wanted clean air so bad because I knew it's brutal. I mean, even if you have a little bit fresher tires, it's almost impossible to pass. And I was just kind of waiting for that last little transition from going from wrecking loose to feeling really good again. And I was probably a lap away from it, and I just overstepped just a little bit in turn two. I kind of misjudged a little bit, got on that concrete part below the white line there, and it just as soon as I got back on the throttle, I was like hanging on, and I was like, "Oh, this ain't good." So yeah, I'm just disappointed with myself. I know it's it's a good thing to be disappointed with a runner up, I guess, but obviously I lose the bragging rights this week on the Burn It Down podcast, so I will gift wrap that and hand it over to Ross.
You're gonna have to do it, man. You get to talk about it in real time on the podcast. So congrats, though, overall. Fantastic finish, regardless of the late race goof up there and your hatred for mistakes when it comes to this place. But
We've all
shout
been
out
there.
to
We have
what you
all been there.
Yeah,
It's true.
it it's just so difficult, man. Especially you got Ross Tatum breathing down your neck. You got to be perfect, right? You can't make any mistakes, and unfortunately, I made one tonight, and it cost us. So but yeah, thank you guys, man. Appreciate y'all. Bragas, hope you guys didn't fall asleep too much up there. I know this can kind of get dragged out a little bit when it goes green. Great job to the league and all the guys, though. I mean, we have 28 trucks tonight, and we went flag to flag. I mean, that's pretty impressive for this place. So I know normally if you can kind of get through that first run, there's a good chance of it going green. So I know this is what we're capable of, and it was great to showcase that tonight. Congratulations to Ross Tatum on his win. So he did a great job, despite me giving it to him, I guess you could call it. But yeah, he still did a great job. He was super fast as well. So loving all the speed our S&B teams bringing. So another 1-2 for S&B. We got Tom Ogle up in the top 5 with us tonight as well, and Will Bustler and Logan Breakey also rallied from I think he was pretty deep in the field to start the race. So anyway, just appreciate all the boys. Anyone listening, we appreciate the support, love. Anyone to come check out me and Ross on the Burn It Down podcast. It's available on all your streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, TikTok, all those great places. So yeah, we love talking NASCAR and everything racing. So come give us a listen or a watch. We'd appreciate it. And then last but not least, I just want to thank my wife for allowing me to do this. I enjoy racing so much in this league, and I appreciate everything she does for me.
There you go. Kind words there from the 94 Altas. Congratulations on a back-to-back top 2 finishing results, and maybe we'll do that again next week. We'll see you then.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, man. All right, now time to bring in the Little Debbie's fanatic, Ross Tatum, here for the Icon Apparel Victory Lane. Ross Tatum for the 3rd win this season. You're going to have to change that sponsor, man. You have a perfect sponsor for this, the Pecan Spin Wheels, because you love doing those burnouts. What's going on, man?
What's up, guys? Yeah, I don't know how I won that one tonight. I've never won an Indy before. I swear to God, I've been on iRacing since 2009, and I have never won an Indy before. So that's a first, and I don't know how I did it. I guess I just got lucky. Josh hit the wall, but a lot of fun tonight. 90 laps at Indy's a long time. I'm kind of worn out. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, flag to flag, and yeah, he was a little upset about that. He said that he gift wrapped that win for you. So you get he's gonna have to hand those bragging rights to you for the next week on the podcast. So, but no, I mean, you did fantastic. I mean, flag to flag. The race gets stretched out. I mean, it really gets tough. You know, drivers were complaining about looseness, then tightness. The weather didn't help the situation. I mean, we started at 102 track temp, and then when we took the green flag, it was already down 5 degrees, just due to the cloud coverage. So I mean, that played a factor into it. Dirty air was talked about. If it wasn't for that mistake by Altus, would you have been able to get by him with him having the clean air? We know the dirty air kind of played a factor as well. Would you have still been able to finish in the exact order that you did tonight?
I don't think so. I was that I had that one run in me where I got side by side with them, and then it was like after that my tires were gone. So it was like all the good was gone, and I didn't even push them when I went low on them, but for whatever reason, it just killed them. And like you just said, the dirty air was so bad tonight. The tight loose was bad. It was kind of treacherous out there, honestly. I kind of wish the setup was a little bit looser so that you can make a few moves and stuff. The thing I usually do there is back up the corners a lot and try to get a run off, but it seemed like the clean air was just so valuable that you couldn't even get the run off. So, yeah, if he didn't hit the wall, I'm pretty sure he would have won. And like I said before, I'm just trying to points race before I go in little Debbie business here in a week or two. So, just trying to get as many points as I can. I was perfectly content finishing second right there. Obviously I do like to win. That does feel good, but also, I don't like making Josh's night bad. That's not fun for me either. But podcast might be a little interesting on Sunday, I guess.
I got 10 for on that, man. And I usually call out people for doing burnouts when they hit the wall. You didn't hit the wall per se, but that was so assisted using the SVG line just to hold the throttle down and using the wall to keep it from spinning out. You got to put it in the middle of the track next time.
I think I learned that on Tony Hawk. What is that, like a grind or something on the rail? Because
Oh, he's doing
Yeah,
a
it's like a
yeah,
like a tail slide. All right, but
yeah, it was like a tail slide. I can't.
okay.
but
I
here's the
tried
thing,
doing
man.
it right, and I kept spinning.
You have seen victory lane enough, my guy. We expect better things out of your burnouts, man. Jeremy seen that, called you out, and I'm like, that is lackluster. Come on, Mr. Zebra Cake.
Believe it or not, I really don't win as much as you think, but yeah, I don't know. I cheated a little bit on that burnout, I guess, but I couldn't make it go straight. It was too much gear in it or something, and then the tires wouldn't spin, and it was a mess. I was just in shock that I even won at Indy. It's just never happened before, so I don't know. I was still in shock.
Jeremy, this guy just talked about the trucks being tight and then wicked loose, which means no grip and tire spin. And then he just talked about couldn't get the tires to spin for a burnout.
I mean, listen, the track temp was 86 degrees when he was doing his burnout compared to the 102 that they practiced in. So, there's a whole different track out there. But even when you're driving pecan spin wheels, you just gotta do things. But all right, man. Congratulations once more. Floor is yours. Any final thoughts before we send you out for the night?
Appreciate it, guys. I want to thank little Debbie, obviously. Obviously I would run the pecan spin wheels, but I'm terrified of forgetting the banner on the car and getting a penalty. So I'm trying to just ride this paint scheme out for the year, because I'm pretty brain dead half the time, and I'll forget. Got to thank you guys at Nerdy Twos. You guys do an awesome job. Love going back and watching these races and listening to them on the rate, or I listen to them in the car because I got YouTube Premium this month, and like you can just close it and still listen to it. So that's pretty sick. So shout out YouTube Premium. I got to thank the Honeycuts, all of them. They do an awesome job with this league. I would put a number on it, but I don't know what number I said last time. I try to go up a number every time I say them, but I forgot. I think I want to say like 21 Honeycuts now. So thanks to those guys. Gosh, there was one more. Oh, Burn It Down podcast. Yeah, if anybody wants to go listen, it might get a little interesting this week. Josh might be mad at me. I don't know. I hope not. But we'll make up and hopefully put out a good podcast on Sunday. So if anybody wants to give a listen to that, that'd be awesome. And I guess that's it. Empowered Research. And if anybody sponsored this race, thank you to them too. And yeah, just looking forward to Chicagoland. That should be fun too. Just going to try to keep it clean and hope for the best.
All right, 10 for man. Congrats once more for the third win of the season, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir. All right, that's it, Dustin. That was your Icon Apparel Company victory lane for the driver number 1, Ross Tatum. And flag to flag, no cautions. I don't think we had a true wreck other than some hard wall slaps. What a race.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ask for anything more or better than what these drivers delivered tonight. I mean, this is a very technical, tough track. I mean, yeah, it's a long track. People are like, yeah, you just floor it and go. I
No.
mean, it's a lot of heavy speed. I mean, braking. I mean, hitting your marks, flat corners. I mean, a rectangular shape. I mean, there's a lot of technicalities to this specific track, and to go flag to flag for 90 laps with almost 30 drivers was fantastic. And exactly what we expect from everybody over here at OTSS in the Select Series presented by Empower Ed Research Institute. So hats off to all of you drivers. Hats off to the admins for putting on such a great event. I mean, and this season has been fantastic. So I look forward to the rest of it, Jeremy. We talked about this schedule has been probably one that you and I were both super excited about from start to finish. It was a rock solid schedule, and we're not done yet, Jeremy. I mean, we still have 3 races left. This is race 9. We go to race 12. We still got 3 races left. It's going to be a good one.
Percent there for sure, and appreciate you guys for tuning in. We do it 2 nights a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. We're going to close this thing out. So you guys have a good rest of your night. Stay safe. Get your nerd on. Dustin, what you got for him?
And as always, it's not goodbye. Just till next time. Stay nerdy out there.
Touchscreen and louder to the range. Fuel burns and the glow of the pixel blaze. The rubber is roll, the fist clenched tight. Your TV lights up the endless night. Fight to fight, we live the speed. No TV feeds our endless need. Heartbeats pound and engines cry. Best broadcast under the virtual sky. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm. Fight to fight, we live the speed. No TV feeds our endless need. Heartbeats pound and engines cry. Best broadcast under the virtual sky.